Press R to bring out or put away. Oh, I'm packing in this game? Alright, it's my turn this time. I'm not gonna be scared by some spooky monster in a dark hallway.
Credits a missile ready for deployment.
Alright, where is he? Where's that Freddy Fazbear son of a... Amnesia has been in a weird spot for a while. Amnesia Dark Descent was revolutionary for the horror genre. You can still find mechanics introduced in that game, like a sanity gauge and a don't look at the spooky monster or you'll get scared.
Leave me alone!
In other horror titles today. Even though it was made by a different developer, people were really looking forward to the sequel, which if you didn't know was bad. It was bad. And we wouldn't see another entry in the series for 7 years. In 2020, we got Amnesia Rebirth, made by the original devs, which was met with a resounding...
Every single thing in it is me!
At this point, I was really hoping the developers would pivot off of the series. Their independent game Soma was incredibly good, and has haunted me for years.
Oh no!
So when they announced The Bunker, I had my doubts. Unlike in previous entries, we're playing as an active World War I soldier, so we don't lose our mind every time we find ourselves in the dark without warm milk and a nightlight. Which is great, because we'll be spending a lot of time in the dark. Here's the flashlight. We don't use the flashlight. It sucks, and it tells the monster where you are instantly. Even though we don't go insane in the dark, we're at a huge disadvantage. The monster is almost completely invisible in the dark, so you can very easily wander into him while looking for resources blind as a bat, like Velma looking for her glasses. The main way to alleviate our impaired vision is the game's main resource and mechanic, fuel. Fuel's main use is to power the lights, which keeps the monster in the walls unless you make an egregious amount of noise. The generator lasts a very short amount of time. Even a full tank will only last you a couple of minutes. There's a lot of creative ways to make a game scary, which I'll cover in another video maybe, I don't know. But a great way to incite panic is a time constraint. Time constraints are used in most horror games in the form of chases. Being chased is just a time constraint, just a very focused and condensed one. The fuel in this game stretches that time out, prolonging the stress. Knowing that you will be chased once the lights go out creeps in the back of your mind as the lights start to flicker. The monster scratches the other side of the wall, waiting to be let free of his cage to hunt you down.
He's in the walls. He's in the goddamn wall!
Once the generator is out of fuel, the lights go out, the monster emerges, and you'll just have your Fisher-Price flashlight to light your way. This makes even having the lights on really stressful, knowing that every moment you waste is inching you closer to dealing with this. It's a super simple mechanic that actually has a huge impact. Oh, that gun you saw earlier? Yep, fully functional gun. But ammo is very limited. Not like Resident Evil limited, more like Great Depression limited. I think I found about 6 bullets in my playthrough, so don't miss. Shooting the monster is pretty ineffective, so combining it with environmental obstacles is a must. There's actually a lot of tools at your disposal, each with niche uses. When I looted a grenade, I was just like, I've won. It's over. But it isn't a Call of Duty grenade. There's no cooking this thing, and it's very difficult to aim and takes a while to explode.
Congratulations, you won.
So you've got to set up the perfect situation to use it. Other tools are just as specific and difficult to use, but highly effective when deployed correctly. Experimenting and learning ways to use each tool at your disposal is really engaging and one of the strongest features of the game. Experimenting in this game makes me feel like I could make one of those YouTube channels that's like, "What's up guys? Today I put a wall between me and the monster, and we're gonna..." Let's talk about the bunker itself. It's a maze full of tight corridors, dead ends, and traps set by the previous soldiers. Since you'll be in the dark a lot, it can be easy to get lost, but you won't find yourself wading through a sea of darkness in a large empty room with no landmarks. This type of environment also doesn't lend itself to frequent chase sequences. A lot of the time there will just be nowhere to run or hide. This is one of my biggest complaints about the game. I found myself frequently saying, what could I have possibly done to avoid that? Just a handful more places to run or hide would have prevented situations where I'd see the monster, roll my eyes, and just load my save knowing there's literally nothing that could be done to escape. On the topic of things out of my control, the monster is very XD random at times. Obviously, I shouldn't be able to control exactly where and what the monster does, and the elements of randomness make it unpredictable. But some instances were just insane. Grenade blowing up rats and another explosive barrel? No monster. I pulled a string on my flashlight one time? Monster. Anywhere you see one of these holes, which are absolutely everywhere, is somewhere it can clamber out of the walls. This means you can enter an area, he spawns at the end of the hallway, and you just have to leave and try again. It can make navigating some areas painfully tedious as you re-enter multiple times waiting for the monster to spawn somewhere you can actually handle. Without spoiling anything that actually happens, the final showdown between you and the monster is a huge letdown. In games like these where there's a single constant threat that you see and interact with all the time, you build a relationship with. And yes, I do mean a romantic one. When you've built up all this tension between the player and the antagonist, it feels really weird if you don't have some sort of conclusion, which the ending of the story lacks completely. The gameplay of the ending is very strange, as if it was released half done. There's all these tools, mechanics, unique animations, and everything, but none of them do anything to help you win. They're all red herrings. I'm assuming some sort of battle was intended here, and it just didn't work out, but it's super weird for them to just leave all the remnants in. Ending aside, this was a great direction for the Amnesia series. It did a great job of stressing me out, and instilling a fear of flickering lights. No! Making gameplay mechanics an effective part of the horror is really hard, but almost always the most effective way to make a game scary. This is where frictional games found its success early on, and it's great to see them return to it. Oof, that was close. Lock that door by just pressing that there button. Okay, come on now, good joke, but he's like right there. Okay, I'll cut you a deal. You don't have to press the bell, but please just...